Ladies and gentlemen of GAW, I am here to tell you that the mob will not save you. They cannot save you. I can. The Blade Runners can. But we won't. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to GAW Wednesday Night Storm, episode 60. God, that's unbelievable to think about. You know what else is unbelievable? That Drew McIntyre hasn't won a world championship here in GAW. That is unbelievable with the talent that this man possesses. And we just saw he battled the GAW Classic champion, Aleister Black, in an absolute war in the final match of their group stage. McIntyre came up just short, but he covered himself in glory in the GAW Classic for sure. And so now, after a short hiatus, McIntyre of the Blade Runners is back. It's been a very unique year, very up and down year for Matt Hardy. He started off really on the wrong foot. He and brother Jeff reunited the Hardy Boys to enter into the tag team title tournament and promptly lost in the first round. Hardy looked like he was on the downslope. He ended up becoming the first member of the feared Alpha stable. He used that momentum to win the Rumble on the Beach, which gave him an opportunity at the Intercontinental Championship, which he won. He held that belt for a few months, actually, with Alpha helping him. It ended up losing that title to Will Ospreay, who unified it with the Cruiserweight Championship. Hardy then went on to enter the GAW Classic, make it all the way to the finals, where he lost to Aleister Black. And the last time we saw him, he was losing to the new Intercontinental Champion, Bobby Lashley. It's time for Matt Hardy to really figure himself out coming into Nitro 10, and this would be the time to do it in our opening match. We got a full show still to come. We've got Rosita and her new manager, Hernandez. Hernandez just debuted a couple weeks ago here on Wednesday Night Storm. Rosita will be taking on Bianca Belair. We've got Dakota Kai in action. And Kai has been embroiled in a lot of controversy given what's happened with the United States Championship as of late. We've got Kenny Omega and Aleister Black teaming up against former tag team champions. And in the main event, Will Ospreay and Zack Sabre Jr., the newest member of the mob, go at it in a submission match. There is so much to talk about on this show, and as always, I will do my best and probably fail to get to it all. McIntyre with a big gutbuster on Hardy. You're looking at two former Intercontinental champions. McIntyre going for the cover. Hardy kicks out. McIntyre is a world championship short of being just the fourth man to win the GAW Triple Crown. That being the World Championship, the Intercontinental Championship, and the Tag Team Championships. Glasgow kiss from Drew McIntyre. He has firmly grabbed control of this match, and now for the cover, Matt Hardy kicks out at 2. This would be a big win for McIntyre. He would have to go a long way. Oh, side effect countered by McIntyre into a dragon suplex. Very high angle dragon suplex there by the Scottish Psychopath. And then another Glasgow kiss. Floors Matt Hardy. McIntyre tunes it up from the corner. McIntyre Claymore. Oh, that'll put your lights out. McIntyre, it is elementary. Drew McIntyre with a Claymore wipes out Matt Hardy. What a performance from Drew McIntyre. That's a way to bounce back after a very disappointing loss to Aleister Black with the GAW Classic Finals on the line. McIntyre's evidently taken some time off, and he has returned with a vengeance, and apparently so have the Blade Runners as a whole. 2 Glasgow kisses, and then a hellacious Claymore. And Drew McIntyre looks as dangerous as ever. What an angle for that Claymore. Never underestimate the Scottish psychopath. And I certainly will not. I hope you won't either. I hope none of his opponents do. Coming up next, Rosita. She's been the talk of the town after Hernandez debuted in her corner. She takes on former World Championship challenger Bianca Belair. Rosita has been just about all anyone can talk about, and it's because of the man that you see on her right. Hernandez, a 20-year veteran of this sport, half of the creators of the world-famous Latin American Exchange, LAX, as you can see on his shirt there and on his shorts. This guy is well known to just about any wrestling fan in the world, and he has come to GAW apparently to train and manage Rosita, which is something that she has desperately needed. She's been looking to get that edge, anything to put her ahead in a very stacked women's division here in GAW. Well, if she's able to rack up a couple wins, then you gotta say that Rosita appears to be the #1 contender for the United States Championship. We'll see if her opponent tonight has anything to say about that. Bianca Belair, I mention this every time she's out here. It's unfortunate, but it does bear mentioning that Bianca Belair belongs to one of the more dubious records that we have here in GAW. Belair had the displeasure of being Asuka's opponent in the shortest title defense in GAW history. It took just 13 seconds for Bianca Belair to tap out to the Asuka lock. And ever since then, Belair has been looking to return to the precipice. She's never quite gotten there, but you know what they say. If you're able to compete with the top, if you're able to beat the woman that is the most talked about woman in the division, that'll do wonders. I don't think they actually say that, but it's still true. Rosita versus Belair is next. Before this match really gets underway, we want to remind you that coming up next episode, Matt Riddle and Keith Lee, 2 men who were former tag team partners, former best friends, now turned bitter rivals. They will face each other, no disqualifications next episode, and it will hopefully, assuming Riddle allows the match to happen, it will end up being the first time that the 2 men have actually met face-to-face in the ring. Remember, it was supposed to happen back at Tidal Wave, but Matt Riddle attacked Keith Lee during Lee's entrance, got the match thrown out. Meanwhile, we got to talk about these two because these are 2 very, very different styles. Bianca Belair immediately starting off with some of that power. Belair, pound for pound, one of the best athletes in general admission wrestling. Meanwhile, Rosita, she is forced to play from behind a lot of the time because of her size. You know, she is one of the smallest competitors in GAW, but a beautiful tilt-a-whirl Fujiwara armbar. Bianca Belair is able to roll out of that. And so what you see from Rosita is a lot of quickness, a lot of short moves, a lot of very succinct attacks. It's what she has to do, and it's very hard for her to get, inside the striking range, given her height. So now Rosita, look at this, some of the athleticism displayed from Rosita, but Bianca Belair had it scouted, got out of the way, and drops her with a backbreaker. We've already seen Rosita add some variety to her game after Hernandez joined her corner, and that has been a big help to Rosita. It's a kind of edge that she needed. These two have already faced off once this year. Bianca Belair took down Rosita. That was a few months ago. This is a much different Rosita than we saw then. And with the help of Hernandez, obviously the wild card in the corner, you never know what Rosita might pull out, what Hernandez might pull out. Now Rosita, Irish whip off the ropes, and Rosita, exchange. Beautiful baseball slide, Hurricane Rana combination. Rosita hooks the leg, and Rosita picks up her second win in as many matches. Rosita hits the exchange, and she's able to pick up a win over Bianca Belair. Not a simple match by any stretch of the imagination. And by the way, it's worth noting that in their match earlier this year, Rosita went for the exact same move, and Belair super kicked her head off her shoulders and ended the match right then and there. So you can just see how much better of a technical mind Rosita has now that she has Hernandez in her corner. We've got another women's match up next. The controversial Dakota Kai taking on former World Championship challenger Kairi Sane. You can hear the love for the Pirate Princess reverberating throughout the arena here, and with good reason. Kairi Sane is absolutely a fan favorite competitor for a good reason, but it has not been the year that she has envisioned here in GAW. It has been marred by injuries. It's been marred by maybe the toughest schedule any wrestler has had to deal with. When you look at who she's fought the likes of Lita, the GAW legend, Asuka 3 times, and actually got a pinfall win over Asuka in an Iron Woman match. She fought Asuka. I mean, it's unbelievable what Kairi Sane has been through this year, and so to come out and to continue to try to grab that win, to jumpstart the next phase, you're only as good as your last match, and so for Sane to continue with this positivity, really, I think that contributes to why people are such big fans of hers. And you can hear the contrast of the fans' reaction to Dakota Kai, a woman who, unlike Kairi Sane, has not acted in an honorable way by any stretch of the imagination concerning what she did to cost Kacy Catanzaro her U.S. title and then help Tegan Nox retain that belt through dubious means. And then, of course, she is a prime suspect in the attack on Kacy Catanzaro from a few episodes ago. We still have made no headway in that investigation, but it means that Catanzaro, as of now, will not be able to challenge Tegan Nox for the title that was stolen from Catanzaro. And look at the face of Dakota Kai. She doesn't care one bit. It's a clash of styles here and a clash of personality. Kairi Sane is legitimately one of the most positive people that you will ever meet, and that's just how she lives her life. And it's a big reason why she's not only a fan favorite but a favorite of everyone in the locker room, because she's just a joy to be around. Meanwhile, Dakota Kai, it's false positivity that we see from Dakota Kai. She's been acting all bubbly and smiley, but it contrasts so starkly to what she's done, who she's cost. And And obviously fans have very much turned on her for that. However, that being said, I still have to call it like I see it. And Dakota Kai, she may be the most improved female wrestler. Oh! You can see Sane going for a spear into the corner. Kai explodes out and hits her with a DDT. Kai might be the most improved wrestler on the GAW women's roster. I think her and Caitlin Dunlap are fighting for that title. Kai blasts Kairi Sane with a boot in the corner, but Sane answers with a Luthez press. A little bit of ground and pound from the Pirate Princess. And again, Kai sees the corner spear coming, spikes Kairi Sane with a DDT. Sane able to kick out. Dakota Kai has been on quite a run recently. She actually has a win over Kairi Sane. That was months ago, all the way back in episode 10. So it was a different Dakota Kai, certainly at the time. Kai's losses in the last few months have come against women like Ronda Rousey, Asuka, Kacy Catanzaro. You're talking champions. And now Kairi Sane with a sliding elbow in the corner to a seated Dakota Kai. Kairi Sane uses that as the setup. Sane going up top. No insane elbow. Moonsault press. But Dakota Kai got the knees up. I thought Sane was looking for insane elbow. Boot to the gut. Caught by the Pirate Princess. Now roll over. Single leg crab. A move made famous by Lance Storm in his run with WCW. A company from whose ashes GAW was born. GAW started by the likes of Goldberg, Scott Steiner, Booker T. You're talking legends of the sport. That is the pedigree of general admission wrestling. Always has been. And that's why here in GAW, we breed champions. That's what both of these women are trying to be. Kai up top waiting for Sane to get to her feet, and now Kai tries to drop the elbow from the top. Sane out of the way, double drop kick. Doesn't affect anyone. Strike caught by Sane. Forearm. Sane trying to run back into the ring, but Kai catches her with a float over DDT. Dakota Kai plants Kairi Sane with that DDT and then rams her head into the LED panel. That is hard metal. Kairi Sane able to finally toss Dakota Kai into the ring, and now it could be an opening for the Pirate Princess. Elbow drop. Not the insane elbow. She does that to the front side. That was an elbow drop to the back. And it means that Dakota Kai has an opening. I think she maybe was trying to set up for the chiropractor. Didn't work there. Big kick to the gut. That's why Kai and Nox call themselves Team Kick. I mean, you can't disrespect their skill set. Kairi Sane takes a knee straight to the gut, and now Dakota Kai, boot to the gut, chiropractor. Look at the stress that it puts into your spine. Dakota Kai drives her down, hooks the leg. Kai for the win. Yes, Dakota Kai. You can hear the excitement leave my voice. I'm sorry. I'm trying to be as objective as I can, but given what Dakota Kai has done, it's a little hard. I'm sure you all can understand, I would hope. But you do have to respect her ability in the ring, and she showcased it once again. And very quickly, the chiropractor is turning out to be one of the most blindingly fast and dangerous moves in GAW. And here Kairi Sane found that out the hard way. I know how it works around here. I know what you have to do to get a championship. I understand. that Asuka is running a tyrannical regime whereby only her friends get opportunities at the championship. And her friends, by the way, who aren't that good, as we just saw. So my goal here is very simple, is just to tell that fraud of a women's champion that Dakota Kai and Team Kick are here to challenge for your world champion. Folks, this is Caitlin Dunlap, the newest star in the GAW Academy. She actually attacked Asuka on the last episode of GAW Academy Storm Chaser. Asuka was the special guest on that episode. Caitlin Dunlap called her out and then brutally attacked her and stopped Asuka from fulfilling her duties as a special guest. And now she's shown up here on Wednesday Night Storm. Listen, you can cut the shit, because I have one thing that you don't and will never have. Actually, I have many things that you don't and will never have, but this one in particular, I have a win over Asuka, something you could never do. Okay, I don't know who you are, but you need to get the hell out of this ring. You do not belong here playing with the big girls. You belong in the sandbox somewhere training to take a scoop slam. You are not ready for anything that Asuka could bring or that I could bring to you, frankly. Yeah, look, I've heard it all before. Every day I hear this, and it's never true. The reality is I beat Asuka, and therefore I deserve a championship. Oh, you deserve a championship. No. I've earned a championship. I've earned it. I've played fair. I've played by the rules. I've done everything possible. And that's why Asuka will give me that match. I really don't understand what the point of all this bickering is. I beat Asuka fair and square. Something that you've never done. So the championship shot goes to me, and you can sit on the sidelines like a good girl and help your friend succeed in places that you couldn't imagine. I'm tired of this. I am tired of people coming in here and trying to jump to the front of the queue. Do you think this is how this works? When I've been busting my ass for so long, I didn't jump to the front of the queue. I played fair. Why do I have to do it, but you can't? Because I beat Asuka, princess. That's the reason why. I am the most beautiful, the most talented, the star of the show. Everyone wants to be me. Everyone wants to be with me. And I just can't say the same about you. Sorry, sis. This is an absolute affront to the fairness of this company. I'm going to have a word with someone about this, because this is unacceptable. Absolutely unacceptable. And listen, one more thing. The next time that you come out here and try to step up to an actual professional wrestler, maybe next time you can actually take a second to do your makeup. All right there, model? Well, looks like we have ourselves two challengers for Asuka's Women's World Championship. And that's nothing new. Asuka's had to deal with multiple challengers before, but this one's an interesting one. Dakota Kai certainly has the emotional appeal in terms of Asuka would want to shut Kai up, just like the rest of us do. But from a purely competitive aspect, and of course, GAW, wins and losses matter. we take all those things into account, Caitlin Dunlap has a win over Asuka, so it's very hard to deny the goddess an opportunity to fight Asuka with the title on the line. I'm just excited to see how this will play out with Nitro getting ever closer.
Yeah, hear the battle cry under the devil's sky. The one-winged angel screams. It fuels my hopes and dreams. The best shine.
Meanwhile, somehow, we just went through that whole entrance of the former tag team champions, former Alpha Associates, the Lucha Brothers, just completely, I never even mentioned that the Lucha Brothers are the ones taking on Omega and Aleister Black in this match. But that's kind of an important detail. Yes, Kenny Omega and Aleister Black teaming up to face the Lucha Brothers. This is very unique. It has not happened very many times that a world champion has teamed with a classic champion. I mean, I can't, off the top of my head, I can't think of a time that that's ever happened in GAW history. So, you know, we might be making history here tonight. But this is a more cordial rivalry between Omega and Black than we're used to seeing from the participants of the Nitro main event. In fact, the two were just interviewed in Sports Illustrated earlier this week, and I will read you an excerpt from the interview that I find particularly interesting. The question is, Kenny, your issues with Alpha were well documented, and a confrontation with them landed you in the hospital for a week. Is there any doubt in your mind about the motivation of the man who brought Alpha his first world championship? And this is Omega responding. He says, well, I don't think that's entirely fair. Alpha gets to a lot of people, and in the case of Aleister, he joined because of an even bigger threat that he saw. I believe the man I'm sitting next to has nothing to hide. To which Black responds, he says, I want to say that I appreciate those who allowed me the opportunity to prove myself again. It's amazing how much a man can change in just a few months, and the growth I saw in myself from when I joined Alpha to when I left is beyond description. My goal now is to prepare for Nitro, bring the best Dutch destroyer you've ever seen to New York, and win a world championship as a truly free man. Well, nothing says freedom like the steely, cold gaze of a man who will fight in the main event of the biggest show of the year. And that's exactly where Aleister Black is heading. GAW Classic Champion, most wins in GAW this year with 21 since Nitro 9. This guy has been on fire. And now he will get to team with his Nitro opponent against former tag champions. Omega and Pentagon starting things out. This is, like I said, this is kind of uncharted territory here. V-trigger attempt from Omega, caught by Penta. This is kind of uncharted territory to see Nitro opponents teaming up. But certainly, in the case of Omega and Black, their stories, the way that they got to this point is incredibly unique. We've never seen anything like Alpha pop up in the history of GAW. And Alpha's what's going on here? Rey Fenix jumped off the apron for some reason. Phoenix not on the apron. Pentagon still trying to fight it out against Kenny Omega, and now Rey Fenix has gotten back on the apron. I don't know exactly what happened there. I don't know if that was some kind of miscommunication between the Lucha Brothers, or I'm not sure. The Lucha Brothers won tag team gold by beating the Usos, although it certainly was not a clean win. It was supposed to be a, oh my God! Pentagon went for a missile drop kick, and Kenny Omega just sends him crashing to the ground. Oh! Pentagon Canadian destroyer on the outside. God, talk about a skull fracture. My God. Kenny Omega went for the rising knee strike, and Penta able to drag him back towards the ring. And so originally, what the hell is going on here with Rey Fenix? Fenix, twice now it's looked like Pentagon is in the corner, ready to make a tag, and Fenix has moved, and now Pentagon pump handle, half Nelson driver, Pentagon going for the pin, and Aleister Black is there. Rey Fenix has made his way back into the ring. It's just odd to see him, considering that he seemingly has refused a tag twice. Aleister Black with a slingshot Falcon Arrow on Rey Fenix, and now Kenny Omega with a reverse knee bar on Penta. Penta able to roll it over. Fenix gets back to his feet. This is the referee counting Fenix. Penta goes for the nice Hurricane Rana there, and now Omega avoids the stomp. Aleister Black there as well. Penta sending Omega back into his corner, and now finally Rey Fenix will take a tag. This is the weirdest thing I have ever seen going on right now. I mean, these two remain great teammates, and their double team offense is second to none, and now Rey Fenix 450. Kenny Omega got the knees up. Omega sends Fenix into the corner, the world champion, four-time world champion, and now Kenny Omega with a big open hand palm strike, and now takes Fenix up to the top rope. Kenny Omega wasting no time with a superplex to the outside. That is a move that has become very common in GAW for reasons that I cannot exactly explain. I think it has something to do with the fact that the Usos used that move throughout their tag team championship tournament run, and that of course ended with Usos grabbing the gold and hanging on to the championships for months. Kotaro crusher from Kenny Omega. Omega has been in this match for the duration, so you wonder when he's looking to take a tag here from his opponent. Fenix, beautiful over the top stunner. Omega sends him back into the corner. We will get a tag. Irish whip off, drop toe hold, and Black elbow drop to the back. Aleister Black, the Dutch Destroyer. At this point, you'd have to consider him the most dangerous man in the company. Oh, double foot stomp from Black. Fenix able to work him off, and now Fenix heading up top. Rey Fenix looking for the 450 once again. Aleister Black gets the knees up. And Black, I think, was looking for the standing cutter. Fenix out of the way, but Fenix has now turned his attention to Kenny Omega. Fenix has been distracted by Kenny Omega, but he does turn around, gets the tag in to brother Pentagon, and now another double team move for a team that just doesn't seem to be all there tonight. And I can't say exactly why. Black answers back with a jawbreaker. I mean, it's very clear that Pentagon and Fenix have a lot more experience as a tag team than Black and Omega, obviously. Oh, Pentagon going for the cover. Black explodes out of it. So it's very obvious that there's a big difference in tag team experience, but for whatever reason, the Lucha Brothers just don't look all there right now. Once again, the Lucha Brothers off the ropes with a double arm drag and a couple kicks. This is not the same Lucha Brothers that we are used to seeing. This is bizarre. Kenny Omega and Aleister Black made a big statement by coming out here. 450 by Rey Fenix. This time it lands. Third time's the charm, I guess. Rey Fenix goes for the cover on Black, and Black kicks out at 2. Omega, I don't think was going to get there. It's just very, Omega and Black take on this match, and it's such a difficult test for them, and I didn't expect it to look like this. Rising knee strike out of the corner, sidestepped by Rey Fenix, but Black stays on top with a nice kick, and now Black with a suplex. Kenny Omega loving what he's seeing. And now Black once again lines up Fenix from the corner. Rising knee strike. Fenix again sidesteps. But again, Black too quick for Rey Fenix. Vertical suplex. Black heading back to the corner. Now we'll tag in Kenny Omega. Seems to be a mutually beneficial relationship here between these two men. Fenix gets the quickness with a takedown. One of the only men on earth who might be quicker than Kenny Omega in the ring, and Fenix drops him with a big thrust kick. This match has been really 75% Lucha Brothers, but Omega Snapdragon onto Rey Fenix. That is how quickly things can change. Omega takes a few steps back. He'll allow Fenix to get to his feed trigger. Kenny Omega buries his knee into the skull of Rey Fenix, and now Omega goes for the count. The referee very, very slow to make the count. Pentagon's not there to break it up. Kenny Omega and Aleister Black. This is one of the most bizarre tag matches I have ever seen. I don't know what the issue was with the Lucha Brothers tonight, but they did not have it. They were not there, and I don't know why. I mean, credit to Omega and Black. These two looked fantastic, as they tend to do. Probably the two best singles competitors in GAW right now, maybe the two best singles competitors in the world. But man, the story tonight is the Lucha Brothers, and they're not going to have a lot of time to figure this out. The Lucha Brothers will be in action again next episode when they take on former tag team champions and the men that the Lucha Brothers beat unfairly for the tag championships, the Usos, in a Tornado Rules match. So the Usos, or the Lucha Brothers, better figure out whatever is going on by then. Otherwise, I'd hate to be them. In the main event, Will Ospreay versus Zack Sabre Jr. in a submission match. Well, the story of these two, Zack Sabre Jr. and Will Ospreay, added another chapter just a couple episodes ago when these two were fighting and Zack Sabre Jr. called on the services of Conor McGregor, and we later found out that Zack Sabre has become the third member of the Mob, a group that looks more and more deadly by the day, and adding Zack Sabre Jr. to its ranks certainly makes it even more dangerous to everyone in GAW. These two have a long history of matches between each other, dating all the way back to 2014. Will Ospreay won the first ever matchup between the two at SWE The Hunt Is On. That was 6 years ago. And ever since then, these two have been embroiled in what has mostly been a friendly rivalry, but not anymore. Ospreay looking to prove a point, and he's looking to do it on Sabre's own turf, so to speak. Zack Sabre is widely considered to be maybe the best submission wrestler on planet Earth, and Will Ospreay has just challenged him to a submission match. If anyone could pull it out, it would be the Aerial Assassin. No time limit here. No one allowed at ringside, which is why Conor McGregor is not out here with his new charge, as you'd expect. These two guys have had a rivalry dating back to 2014. First time they ever faced off was SWE The Hunt Is On over in the UK. Will Ospreay actually won that match. Then the next day, Zack Sabre Jr. beat Ospreay in the UK Super 8 final. And since then, their rivalry, mostly friendly, has continued over multiple continents, over a dozen promotions. Tag matches, singles matches, both guys have gotten the better of the other, but only recently has it become as supercharged as it is now after Zack Sabre Jr. joined the mob. And now Will Ospreay going for the clothesline over the top rope. Turned into a stun gun by Zack Sabre, and now it looks like Sabre will be the one to try the first submission of the match. Wrenching back on Ospreay's arms. Well, maybe that wasn't a submission. I think that might have just been a prelude to the eventual octopus stretch that we might see from Zack Sabre. It says something about Will Ospreay that he'd be willing to take on a match like this. You know, given Zack Sabre Jr.'s technical ability, and Sabre showing it so far in the match, but Will Ospreay, of course, has been a guy who is willing to reinvent himself multiple times throughout his career. Of course, most notably, most recently in the last year, we've talked about Ospreay's weight gain, putting some muscle on so that he can join the ranks of the heavyweights. And that, of course, led to Ospreay winning the Intercontinental Championship and then unifying that with the Cruiserweight title. Of course, still keeping some of that athleticism that we're seeing throughout this match. And we've been told that Ospreay has a new submission hold that he is going to debut specifically for this match. Ospreay comes off with an Os Cutter. Beautifully done by Will Ospreay, and now into a cross arm breaker. Trying to soften up Zack Sabre Jr. for this eventual submission, and Sabre able to roll over smartly, able to take top control, and now Zack Sabre Jr. Octopus stretch applied by Zack Sabre Jr. I talked about the devastating submission that Sabre often employs to finish matches, but it was a little early here, and Will Ospreay able to work himself out of it. Zack Sabre Jr. able to stay on top of the big power bomb. You'd expect Zack Sabre to maintain control through most of this match, but Ospreay, you know, all you need is once. And this might be the once. This might be the one. Ospreay, this is the new hold I was talking about. Ospreay rolls him over. Modified Dragon Sleeper for Will Ospreay. Zack Sabre just trying to work his way out of it, and Ospreay released it. Ospreay released the hold and instead transitions into an armbar. Second time of this match that the arm breaker is applied from Will Ospreay. He transitioned out of his new hold, and now Zack Sabre Jr. once again able to take top control and breaks the submission. Big time snap suplex from Zack Sabre Jr. And I think that Will Ospreay releasing that new Dragon Sleeper that he has just shows you the inexperience that Ospreay has in matches like this. Submission-based, grapple-based. Ospreay not experienced in these match types the way Zack Sabre Jr. is, and I think that showed through. But again, all you need is that one tap of the mat. And that Dragon Sleeper, one of the most painful submissions I've ever seen. Elbow drop from Ospreay. Nobody home for Zack Sabre Jr. Sabre, snapmare, has both arms hooked, and Sabre transitions into a cattle mutilation, but immediately Will Ospreay is able to roll it over. He didn't let Sabre get a good firm plant on his 2 feet. to finish the hold. Sabre runs Ospreay into the corner, and now the submission master ramming Will Ospreay's head into the top turnbuckle. Puts a lot of pressure on your neck and spine. Will Ospreay able to get the boot to the gut, and now Ospreay go behind German suplex. Sabre now. Dead jump, Hurricane Rana. Zack Sabre Jr.'s got a lot of athleticism himself, even though he is a submission-based wrestler. And so what better match to the MMA-focused style of the mob than Zack Sabre Jr. Will Ospreay clothesline over the top. Ospreay comes off the ropes. Ospreay with a tope con hilo. Beautifully done by Will Ospreay, and now an arm breaker on the outside. This match is not falls count anywhere. Submissions have to happen inside the ring, but Ospreay just softening up the arm and elbow of Zack Sabre Jr., and I would expect Ospreay's new Dragon Sleeper hold to be the one that Ospreay uses to end the match. But that cross arm breaker will prevent Zack Sabre from using the octopus stretch effectively. Again, the big elbow drop from the top. Nobody home for Ospreay. Elbow to the head of Zack Sabre Jr. and now Ospreay. Ospreay looking for a crucifix bomb. Sabre up, but Zack Sabre able to wriggle out of it into an arm drag. And now Sabre again targets the arm of Ospreay. Just trying to weaken the strength of Will Ospreay, and now again Zack Sabre snapmare, both arms hooked. Zack Sabre into a cattle mutilation. This time he does plant on those feet, and so now Will Ospreay, there's just not much he can do. The only thing that is open to Ospreay is using the core strength to work it around, and he does do that. Sabre with a big boot, and now Zack Sabre again, octopus stretch, but you saw Ospreay catch his leg as it came down. Beautifully done by Will Ospreay. Catches Zack Sabre's leg on the way down, and now Zack Sabre with a beautiful transition into an armbar. Third consecutive submission for Zack Sabre Jr. He hasn't done a whole lot of work on the arms of Will Ospreay, so maybe Ospreay can get out of it, and he does. Wow, Zack Sabre Jr. Will Ospreay has, I think, hopefully survived. He has weathered the storm from Zack Sabre Jr. Now Irish whip off the ropes. Ospreay with a boot to the gut. And now Ospreay double underhooks in. Ospreay has him up. Ospreay, Stormbreaker. And he pops up from that beautifully. But Zack Sabre Jr. able to stand into an arm drag. God, so much punishment for Zack Sabre Jr. But that final submission, Ospreay just hasn't been able to lock it in. Zack Sabre with a hammer, with a grounded hammerlock, and wrenches back on the shoulder. You wonder if we'll see the armbar again from Zack Sabre Jr. now that more work has been done on the arms. But now Ospreay hoists Sabre up, powerbomb. And that's a dead drop powerbomb as well. As you can see, Ospreay goes onto his back. Jawbreaker from Zack Sabre Jr. Collar and elbow tie up. Ospreay able to push him off, but Zack Sabre into the front chancery. Maybe a guillotine coming. Ospreay out of it. Snapmare from Will Ospreay, and now Ospreay, oh! Tees up on Zack Sabre Jr. And now Will Ospreay, check this out. Mexican surfboard from Will Ospreay. This is unique. From the aerial assassin, and that was enough to do it. Finally, Will Ospreay had debuted the Chaos Project. That modified Dragon Sleeper, but he decided to release it again due to, I think, to the inexperience that Ospreay has in matches like this. He decides to release that hold and ends up having to put a lot more punishment to Zack Sabre Jr., but he does survive multiple counter mutilations, multiple octopus stretches. Will Ospreay has come out of this once again with, hang on, Jay White. Jay White has gotten into the ring. The switchblade has pulled Ospreay off of the middle ropes. Ospreay trying to fight back against the switchblade, doing all he can. But Jay White warned us at the beginning of the show that the mob would not be able to save anyone. Ospreay comes off the middle rope with a crossbody. So Will Ospreay just trying to do anything he can to defend himself from the switchblade. I don't see anyone else from the mob here, so I think Jay White is acting in the interests of the Blade Runners. But now Jay White waiting for Ospreay to get to his feet. I think White was looking for the Blade Runner, but Ospreay able to get out of it, and now a Hurricane Rana from Ospreay as these two battle in the ring. White with a Northern Lights suplex. No one coming to help Ospreay, no one from the mob coming to help Jay White. So I do think that White is working alone here as part of the Blade Runners. White rolls out of the ring, but the message has been sent to Will Ospreay. You can see Ospreay's been dropped to a knee after this brutal match, and Jay White has announced himself to the world once again. Folks, GAW continues with the Storm Chaser tournament. The men's side wraps up on Wednesday. You will need to see the conclusion of that. So come back here Wednesday for GAW Academy Storm Chaser. Subscribe. We appreciate you.